Hi everybody, Lady Dirtbag here. Today I want to talk about shoes. So shoes are important. You know, when you're hiking, you spend a lot of time on your feet, and unless you're on a very flat, super even dirt surface, you know, the shoes that you wear matter. You can't just wear your typical tennis shoes or other sneakers that you might wear. You need something that's appropriate for hiking. So there are several types of hiking shoes, but they kind of fall into two major categories. One are traditional hiking boots that come up the ankle. And then we also have what are called trail running shoes, which is what I'm going to be talking about today because these are the ones I just bought. I typically go with trail running shoes. That's what my new ones are, trail runners, and my previous ones that you've seen in all my videos up to date show me in trail shoes as well. And the reason I like them is a personal preference, but I'm going to give you kind of the pros and cons of both so you can make your own decision. But I like trail running shoes because they're lightweight compared to a traditional hiking shoe, which tends to be heavier and clunkier. They're more flexible and comfortable. There's no break-in period. They're basically a running shoe that's just been punched up to be good for the trails. And another benefit is in the summertime they're cooler because, like a running shoe, they have to ventilate a lot because you build up a lot of heat. They're also a little more responsive because they're lighter. You can feel you could feel everything under your shoes a little bit better than you can in a traditional hiking shoe. But the cons are that if you're on like a really long hiking trip or something that's really rocky or rooty or technical, sometimes a thicker, heavier hiking boot is better because it protects your feet better. Last year when I did Mount Audubon, which is a 13er, it was a really rocky trail, and I was starting to feel it, especially my ankles, because you know these don't have ankle support, although they have ankle versions. But a traditional hiking boot will go up the ankle, and that's helpful if you're on something really rocky. And also, if you tend to have weaker ankles, that's a consideration as well. Trail shoes are not waterproof. Not all hiking boots are waterproof either, but many of them are, or they're at least more water resistant. You know, these, if you're hiking in the snow or in rainy weather, a boot might actually be more protective for you. And because trail running shoes are lighter, they don't last as long. They don't cost as much either, but for what they cost, they don't last as long as a boot would. So you'll notice that my newest shoe is a HOKA brand. I'm a big fan of HOKAs. I wear them for running. It's my running shoes. And I've been wearing them for some years now because they're known for their cushioned soles. If you, do long hikes, or even in a situation where you're not hiking or you're on your feet a lot, cushion is nice. It's also nice if you're not young anymore, like your joints start to take a beating or your feet take a beating, and it's nice to have a comfortable cushioned shoe. I love HOKAs. They fit my feet and they're really comfortable, so that I buy them again and again. My last pair, in all the previous videos you've seen, are all HOKAs, and then my new pair are different. These are Speed Goats. I happen to like this particular style, but there are other trail shoes and they just vary a little bit depending on how much cushioning they have. Some of them are really plush, some of them are less so, and so it's a matter of personal preference. So yeah, if you take my two pair of trail shoes that are HOKA and compare them, these are the running shoes, these are the trail shoes, you can see that the bottoms are different. And if you turn them sideways, you can see that this one, the trail shoe, has thick lugs on it, whereas this does not, doesn't have any lugs. And these lugs, these little funky sticky outy things, are really good for traction. You need that, especially if you're hiking on rock, like say Utah where it's all slick rock. You're gonna absolutely need those lugs. A regular sneaker or running shoe is not gonna cut it. And I know, I've tried. Like I actually, I was on a trip once where I only had one pair of shoes. I had my running shoes and they were a pair of HOKAs, my older pair. And when I got on rocky stuff, I slid a lot. And so these lugs make a big difference. But even on dirt, you know, so you don't slide, you know, or slip around, that traction is really great. And these Ultras are a little bit different. I bought these to try as trail shoes, and I don't care for them. For one thing, I bought a size that was a little too small. I didn't realize it till too late. So basically, I've downgraded them to to just home workout shoes or just walking shoes. And they're nice because they're ultra light and they're kind of minimalist shoes. Altra is known for that. I actually don't like that. I like the cushion. With the cushion you don't feel the ground underneath your feet quite as well, but you have more cushion, which is nice when you're on rocky trails and you know, or your feet just aren't, like, I don't have the best feet. They tend to give me some issues, so cushion's good for me. But if your feet don't bother you, you know, sometimes a lighter shoe can be nice. And Ultras are known for also being zero drop, where the heel and the toe are the same height. Whereas Hokas tend to have a small drop, usually 4 to 5 millimeters, depending on the shoe, where the heel's a little higher than the toe. That's actually really common in running shoes, and in some running shoes, the drop is much higher. So, personal preference, I'm a Hoka girl. That's it.